This is seriously the coolest RTX 5000 card out there. It's literally the GPU I wanted the most out of all the ones I saw at CES. And trust me, I saw a ton. Now, it's not perfect, but just wait until you get a good look. It's Zotac's new gaming card called the AMP Extreme Infinity. Now, this one is the 5080 version, but they also have the same design in the 5090, plus the rep I spoke to believes they'll offer one for the 5070 Ti as well. Either way, it's one epic looking card. When talking to Zotac at CES, I asked about Nvidia's Founders Edition card because it's clear they put a ton of work into it. I mean, the shortened PCB and all of that really makes it obvious the company is trying really hard on their own cards. Which personally, if I were a board partner, I'd be a bit annoyed because they're actively competing with their own partners. But what Zotac told me is that they're making these GPUs specifically for gamers, while Nvidia is likely focused on a GPU for everyone, which is why their design is very simple, not flashy or trying to make a statement. But then when you move to Zotac's card, it's the complete opposite, but in the best way possible. For starters, it comes with a triple fan design and a really nice two-tone color, with mostly gray around the front and sides, but it's accented with a copper color for the logos and around the side. Moving to the back, it comes with a gray backplate that I do wish was metal, but it's unfortunately plastic. On the backplate, it has their logo in the copper color and Zotac Gaming on the side with cutouts behind it for airflow. Speaking of that airflow, I'm not sure if you can see it, but the PCB stops here to allow the right fan to blow air directly to the heat pipe and out the other end. Making our way over to the top, you can see it has this long, really big light bar with multiple RGB zones for some cool color effects. Their logo also lights up with multiple LEDs. I personally really like the light bar because it's diffused really well and just looks great. Of course, if you don't like RGB, this is not the card for you. And don't get me wrong, I definitely think RGB can be overdone, but I really like this implementation. Either way, that's what they meant when they said that it's really focused on that gamer look, which I know some people like and some people don't. But honestly, while it's beefy and pretty bold, it's also fairly elegant. I don't know, I just flat love the design of this. And one of the biggest reasons is because it comes with an infinity mirror on the side. These have been getting popular with products like Lee & Lee's Infinity fans. My main editing rig actually has some, so clearly I like that design. Either way, you can see that it has their logo inside, and I don't know, it just really makes the card pop and it gives it something to differentiate it from others. Moving to the other side, you can see that it's a pretty beefy 3.5 slot design with 3 DisplayPort 2.1b ports and 1 HDMI 2.1b connector. Obviously, the display outputs are a huge upgrade over last gen, especially coming from DisplayPort 1.4a. The card also comes equipped with a dual BIOS and a button on top to switch between them. Moving over from here, this model comes with an ARGB connector so you can sync your RGBs with the rest of the system. And using the beta software, it worked perfectly. The entire card changed colors to match my motherboard's lighting. You can see how the light bar and the Zotac logo both have multiple LEDs that move across the length of the light. Moving over to the 16-pin connector, this is one feature that really stood out to me with this card. There's an LED on the back that lights up green to let you know that your power connector is inserted correctly, meaning you won't have to worry that it isn't all the way in or that it's been too much, so it doesn't have a good connection. It's just a really nice addition for peace of mind, so you know you won't come home to a melted connector or perhaps burnt down house. Of course, Nvidia recently claimed that they fixed the connector problem with the 50 series during a Q&A session in South Korea. This is probably because of their newer 12V 2x6 connector, but still, I think it's a really nice feature to have just in case. Now, when it comes to the actual specs of the card, like I said, the one they sent over is the 5080. So it comes with the same 10,752 CUDA cores, 16GB of GDDR7, etc. But instead of the 2.62 GHz boost clock of the Founders Edition, this one comes with a slight overclock of just 50 MHz, bringing it to 2.67 GHz. Of course, that's not much at all, and some of the other cards have higher clocks, but I will say that it got up to around 2900 plus megahertz when testing. Either way, Zotac is typically cheaper than other third-party cards, so we'll have to see. I did run a few benchmarks versus the regular Founders Edition, and you can see that it's slightly faster, but not a big difference at all. One thing I will say is that the reported temps were very nice, as it stayed right at 60 degrees during some of the most intense benchmarks. There is some coil whine, though it's not too bad and mostly what I get from most other cards that I test, but maybe a little bit worse. At the end of the day, it's probably my favorite looking card yet, and if you want to pick one up yourself, I'll have affiliate links down in the description below. But let me know what card you prefer down in the comments below. And as always, have a great day.